Oz. Stop. I think you got to go over there, man. Move the chairs and everything over there.
I need to go over the other side.
Where's the ground moved? Hey, boy. Hey, Jimmy. We have the other side. Just come up, come straight through.
And it's a very good afternoon and a welcome here to Olds Park as we take the round 14 game here in the AFL Sydney competition between the St George Dragons and the Pennant Hills Demons. That's right, it's Demons versus Dragons this afternoon here at Olds Park, and it should be a fantastic game. Second versus fourth on the ladder. Pennant Hills sitting in second spot at the moment, just behind the Manly Warringah Giants. St George, well, they're down in fourth spot, equal on points with Western Suburbs, but just outside the 4 in percentage. And joining me up here, perched above Olds Park here this afternoon, is Gus McKernan. Gus, thanks for joining us again. And how do you see this afternoon's game playing out?
Well, Craig, over the years, Pennant Hills have had a pretty poor record here at Olds Park. Even in their premiership years, we've found it hard to win down here. So I'm looking forward to a very keenly contested contest, despite the fact that Western Suburbs were far too good for St George at this very ground a week ago. And Pennant Hills, they come off a good win against the UTS at Waverley last Saturday afternoon. But you're quite right, Craig, about the importance of the game. All games are important, but with 5 rounds to play, Western Suburbs and St George, as you said, they're level on wins, separated by percentage. So both of those clubs will really be keen on continuing to win, because that third spot on the ladder, giving them a double chance, very, very important.
You just heard one of the factors through our microphones here that will play a part in this afternoon's game. There is a howling breeze kicking up from left to right, and that will certainly favour the St George Dragons in this first quarter as we get set to get underway here in the first. As I said, left to right breeze, and it's going to play havoc not only with the players but the umpires this afternoon, as that one will be brought back and we'll go at it again. McBride out of the St George side this afternoon. Their ruck stock's a little bit depleted. In there at the moment is West as they get it through. It's going to be a ding-dong battle, and as you can hear, that wind is really kicking up, and it doesn't look like it's going to go away either this afternoon. The weather closing in. Has been some windy affairs last couple of weeks in the AFL Sydney. Trapped up in the tackle there is Watson. Umpire says too high, and he'll take the kick.
Here's Brad Watson back at Pennant Hills after playing in the Under-18 National Carnival.
He's successful in the Under-18 Carnival. The Rams side taking out the Division 2 in that competition. Same result in the Under-16, so some good signs for New South Wales ACT football at the moment. Back in, Whitmer brings this one down, but it lands in the arms of the Dragons player. Backwards to go forwards. They just put caution to the wind, literally, as they kick it off the boot. This one's going to just fade away, just stays in, and it'll be a boundary throw in. Overcast, windy and cold. The temperature officially 14 degrees on the scale. But the old feels like radar, it says about 7.5, so it is chilly. Right. Goes one way, goes the other. It's going to be very difficult for Backman to get out of this afternoon. Saddington kicks in. Quick snap off the boot, floating in towards goal. And just offline, the first score on the board to the Dragons, and it's a minor score.
Yes, that wind certainly playing havoc with the players so far. I think it's going to take some time for them to adjust to it.
Looking forward to the second quarter. A few Kieran Wright bombs from half back, just floating. But at the moment, they're going to have to run it. Look for the short kick out here. Just go to the pocket. Got Wright out here if they want to use it. They do. Demons out of the area. But every kick important. Looking for Delaquila, floats over the back. Adiri Wikrama now onto the ball. Handballs, it's chopped off. In there for the Dragons was Ryan, just snuck that one away. Wales, backwards. They kick it inside, good kick.
Watson, Goodall in possession now.
Nuggety Goodall decides to go short again. Just doesn't get to the target. Delaquila fumbles it. Just off his boot and actually loses ground in the process. Right now, back onto it, swings around. Little short kick. Shark there, that was short. And eventually the kick from Merson inside, but that's going to float and once again just stay inside the line against the breeze in the final turn, but they held on. It's against St George using the hands. In case of strapped down, everything loose items at the moment. With the hands, they're losing a little bit of ground, the Dragons. Now pushed towards the boundary line and dribbles over.
Not making very good use of the wind so far, but I think it's more perhaps across ground, slightly favouring the side to the right of screen. But
yeah, the pocket we're in now is really where the wind is blowing.
I feel a lot of play is going to be on the broadcast side of the ground today.
Picked the right side, I think, Gus. Win on the left boot.
Schoolar back in the side today.
Indecisive, goes one way, goes the other. Eventually gets the handball off. Once again, giving up ground. Widmer throws it on the boot, keeps it low into the breeze by choice. And now away with it is Jones, running through the middle of Olds Park. Uses the cricket pitch to his advantage with the bounce. They bomb it in long. Look at that wind, take it. Oh, nearly Saddington, one hand, throws it straight on the boot. And he kicks the first for the Dragons. That's how they'll be scored this afternoon.
Well, that was a very good long kick out of the middle there. It really used the wind to advantage, and certainly it was a pretty easy goal. I think if Saddington had let the ball go, it may well have gone through for a goal, but he certainly cleaned it up and made no doubt about that.
Nice clean hands from Saddington as well.
I believe Saddington's playing probably his third or fourth game only for the season. Not available very often because of his involvement with the under-18 side, but he's here today and has the first goal on the board.
Underway again in the middle. Pennant Hills, as the rain starts to fall here, Gus, that's going to throw a little spanner in the works, I'll tell you that much.
It could well do.
And now, can they get an important goal here? Derry Wikrama working hard on the edges of the 50 arc. Spins around one, gets inside, low again, too low this occasion. Goes inside, they've got the advantage now. Good hit there, coming through, I think that was Zickman. And he gets the free kick for a high tackle.
It is Zickman, coming off a 5-goal haul last week. He's certainly doing very, very well about the big sticks this season.
Now, he's only 25 metres out, but this will be a difficult kick. Often say for a key forward, 25 metres out right in front.
This could be 55 out under normal circumstances.
Kicks it low. That's a good-looking kick.
Yes.
And straight through the middle, an all-important one into the breeze. And Pennant Hills open their account for the afternoon.
Yes, Sam Zickman's been a very valuable acquisition to the club at Pennant Hills his first season. And as I said before, off a 5-goal bag last week, he opens up the Pennant Hills goal kicking today with a very good kick from, admittedly right in front, but with the breeze it needed to be very well judged, and it was.
Get set back in the middle. Just need that rain to stay away. That will really make things difficult, especially up here on top of the scissor lift. Just spinning at the moment. We'll keep our eye on the radar. St George now just scrubbing the ball forward. Good pick up, hands it off. This is Jones on the right boot, tackled as he kicked, but the ball just bounces the right way. And eventually, excuse me, it was Wicker who took it over the boundary line.
Cody Stucker, the defender in that case. A debutant this season at age 32 after quite some years in reserve grade. His skills are finally showing through, and he's played good football since promotion earlier in the season.
As the ball comes in, going to be hard work for the boundary umpires this afternoon as well. Off the ground. Now Carey venturing into the back line. Scrubby game so far. Off the deck there was West. Drives it inside, but the Pennant Hills have got the players back, and Kieran Wright takes a clean mark. Now they want to swing wide. That one there. Speculated down the line. Back to Wales. He goes backwards again. Delaquila, once again, just trying to keep it low into the breeze, but too low on this occasion. Wales's kick was smothered. Goes back. We're going roundabouts at the moment. That's done. And he finally gets along, but there's all St George here. Seems like both teams playing just that loose man in defence, probably driven by Pennant Hills, trying to clog up the avenues to goal with the breeze. So dribbles over. 8.5 minutes in. It's the Dragons by just a single point. And they'll be keen to get a few more scores on the board before this quarter finishes. And they go again. Goodall at ground level. Just tries to pop it out. Was intended there for Watson, but it overrun him. And now a big high bomb into the middle of the ground. Wright picks it cleanly. Tackled as he brought it up. Gets it out now. This is good from Jones. He's been handy early, under pressure. The kick goes in, dribbles in. Looking for Merson. Overruns it, and then the players just jump on him. And the umpire's locked, loaded, pulled the trigger. You're gone. And the kick will go to Kieran Wright,
who's been very good early on.
He's going to have to be good under pressure. That's sort of key back when...
Oh, good take there from Matthew Thomas. Had to judge that in the swirling breeze.
Right in the background there, Gus, the bunting there, just almost blowing the sticks over.
Oh, indeed.
Deary Wickrama. They've worked this well, the Demons. Now in the arms there of Watson. Another short kick, so they're well drilled.
Schoolar, Tim Schoolar.
Once again, a nice short kick. Now with Goodall. They've worked this with about 6 kicks, and they're now on just forward of the wing. And another short kick. And Watson's got it now. His second possession in this passage of play. Someone down and behind the play there. Keep an eye on that one. Doesn't look good. But once again, a little turnover, and all the good work by the Demons could be undone with one long kick forward. And they go there now. Pushing back on it now is Wilson. Gets the little legs pumping, but the run's out of space. And over the boundary line.
I don't know who was down in the back play there for Pennant Hills, but he seems to have recovered now. Trainer rushing to his attention. It's Stephen Ray, but he looks to be okay.
Meanwhile, down the other end, good work there from West, just trying to scramble the handball forward. Onto it was Angel. High kick midfield, doesn't really gain much distance, but the mark's taken, a good one. And that's Carl Merson.
Very strong mark.
Had a bit of pressure put on him by the local journalist, and that one's, I think he's got that through. Has that gone all the way?
That's the value of a long kick in a win like this one. It bounced admittedly, but by goodness, it covered some territory, and it was straight.
Very good kick there from Merson.
Very good. That's very effective use of the wind. Whereas the Pennant Hills team had to battle their way towards goal with a succession of low, flat kicks, one or two kicks from the opposition who have the wind, and as you said a moment ago, it's all undone.
Yes, just saw there, took a very good kick. He's well outside 50, just swings around, just launches the kick from about 75, just rolls beautifully. Could have been even further. A great kick from Merson. And St George get their second. Back in the middle. Merson trying to do the same again. This time it's smothered off the boot. Angel in there. Scrubbing kick, also smothered. Merson again. They work it clear in the arms of Gilbert. Drives it forward for the St George Dragons. In through, Goods passage of handball. That was Kilworth. Pops it up inside 50. In the area now is Addison. Wants to get around Parker. Does so. Sets himself. Has a look. Has a shot. Offline. Just the minor score.
Worked it very well there, Addison. The only thing he couldn't do was kick it straight through the goal. But yes, he worked his way nicely around defender Parker there to get a shot at goal. Interested to see which side of the ground that the Pennant Hills defence bring the ball to.
They've really got to bring it to this close side, not give St George any advantage, and that's not going to help either. Saddington takes an easy uncontested mark, and this one's going to have plenty of left to right, Gus, but I reckon he's got the distance. Just needs to judge to win. It's just dropped in our position here.
It has a little bit, yes.
Gives it a bit of space. It's floating back and just caught the jet stream. And just the minor score. 2 goals, 3 now, St George. This time Pennant Hills go the far side. On the break out there was Watson. He's been handy early.
Very busy.
Not liking the geographic area of that kick. Comes back to the near side. Done. Go through the middle. So using all their options, Pennant Hills. Angel, good hands.
Worked
Smith.
that beautifully.
Goes outside, could be holding. Umpire says nothing there. Witt it is for the Demons. Kilworth, it's Witt that gave away the free kick. And it'll be Kilworth to take it. Rich vein of form, Kilworth the last couple of weeks. Look how easy that kick just floats long. Pennant Hills really working hard in this first term, trying to minimise the damage. Kick coming in from right. Once again, Witt there, could have been in the back. Umpire says play on. Pushing through is Frengus. Gives it off, gets it back. Has another option. Goes backwards. And now long down the line. Plenty of Demons here. And once again, Kieran Wright.
He's had probably 10 possessions already, Kieran Wright.
Kick
That one not very effective, though.
The mark good, the kick not so good. Big test here for Stucker. Saddington just dribbles it backwards, looking there for Wilson. Eventually gets it going forward, but Parker in the spot and takes the mark.
Pennant Hills' defence is standing up pretty well so far.
It's been very good. 9 points the margin in what you would have thought might have been an easier game to score to the right of screen. Angel by hand.
Shepherd.
Now they're inside 50. A late one here for the Demons would be very handy. Just the time that they've spent in their forward half, Pennant Hills, is hurting the Dragons. They may not be putting it on the scoreboard, but just sucking up the time as they now go through the hands of Dunn. Out to Witt. Now he has a chance to have a look at the score. Goes forward, 1-on-2 contest, and a good spoil. And just the minor score again for Pennant Hills, but a good opportunity. They come out now. This near side, St George. The kick not a great one, puts his teammate under pressure. And Jones it is, gets the handball back, so good support. He's under pressure now though, the tacklers come. Excuse me, and Dunn eventually gets the kick going forward. Oh, great kick. Perfectly weighted. Gives it to Zickman. Zickman runs into goal and kicks it.
Kick. Oh, that was a classic kick.
Telling
Low to the
sign here,
wing.
Gus. Just sorry to cut you off here, but the two St George players here down on their haunches, the two that were just couldn't get the ball clear, and the tacklers, well, it comes back to that tackle that was applied.
Yes, a free kick was not awarded, but the ball spilt from the St George player's grasp into Dunn's hands and on to Zickman, who cleverly played on between two opponents and kept the ball low into the wind, and it did not deviate right through the middle.
It was good there, Jones. His handball popped up, but the tacklers came, went down low, did Dunn, I say that a lot, and he got the ball back into Zickman. Perfectly weighted kick, just on the angle. And what a great finish. And the Demons, they reduced the margin to 2 points. Back in the middle.
We have both Widmers playing today. Ted Widmer on the ball at the moment. His brother Sam, number 38, he's back off injury. He's also done some rucking earlier on.
Great tackle there from Angel. Made sure Jones couldn't get anything clear. Now, once again, the Demons playing in front. It's been a fantastic first quarter effort from the Demons, despite there being 2 points behind on the scoreboard. And it would be worrying signs for Coach Mudge of the Dragons.
Who, incidentally, I've been told is enjoying his 50th birthday today.
Doesn't look a day over 41. They get an opportunity now. Nick Ryan. Well, he could almost kick it from here.
Oh, he certainly could.
Decides not to, although he just hangs it up. And look at the Demons pounce. Falls clear though. Rickson, his kick actually comes off, and it looks to Saddington, and couldn't take it on this occasion. And just the minor score. 2 goals 4 plays 2 goals 1. 18 minutes played in this first term. Yeah, Gus, right, just telling all of his teammates to push to this near side.
Well, that was a bit of clearing kick. It did not go straight to Saddington that time as the previous kick had.
Stoppage just outside 50 for the Dragons. Some good work there from West. Tried to pop it down to Green. Unable to take the clean ball. Now Parker goes to ground. Gave him the benefit of the doubt. Once again, we feel a little bit of precipitation coming down. Nothing too much to worry about. This one's wrapped up. Delaquila, you're not getting out of that one.
Well, I'm not much of a judge from the weather, but I would hope and think the clouds are going out to sea, but only
Actually,
time will tell.
coming up from the south, sort of pushing due north, really. We're just catching the fringe of it as the St George Dragons go forward again off the boot of Green. Drives it forward. Nice little touch there. I think that was what from Wales. But eventually the ball going over the boundary line. And just a little bit of spotty weather coming up from the south. And we're getting just the fringes of it here at Penshurst. As the ball comes clear again. Good trap there from Schooler. Goes through the middle, just puts it in front of Carey. This is a foot race. Will it sit? It does. He backs back. On his tail there was Craig. He pops it out wide, looking for Zickman. Zickman just tabs it forward, trying to get an advantage. He's there up against, that was Sharp. And Sharp did very well to not let him go. It's 3-on-1 at the moment, and Zickman does well just to lock that in as a secondary option. Adiri Rigrama comes through. Now that was Schooler again, chasing his kick up, and in the long run, it was a good effort there from Pennant Hills to lock that one in.
Well, Zickman did very well. He had 3 opponents, and to lock it in until the cavalry arrived was very, very good.
Still in a scoring opportunity as the rain gets a little bit heavier here, which is a little worrying for a few of the things sitting on the table here. Ball goes backwards. Delaquila pops it wide, finds Angel. Ready the time on in this first quarter. Schooler couldn't take the mark. Back on it was Milner for the Dragons. The handball's not a good one. And well done by Angel to get in amongst it.
Oh, yes. Harry Angel read that very well. He could see the pass coming and cleverly knocked it out of bounds.
Once again, the ball comes in. Dunn doing some hard work at ground level. Goodall pops it out into the run of their schooler. Adiri Wikrama applies the tackle, and we'll have a ball up just inside 50 for the Demons.
Gussie, how are you, mate?
Say hello, Gus.
Yes, hello to my old mate Chris Ryan, a former teammate down here at Holts Park.
Meanwhile,
Many
Dunn comes
generations ago.
And offline from Dunn. You're a star around these parts, Gus.
Well, I did play a fair bit of football here at this club, and thankfully I've still got a few old mates that turn up to see the games here at Olds Park and cheer their St George team on.
Big long kick out of defence. They need more of that, the Dragons. It gets there, eventually comes to clear. And the umpire said holding the ball, just incorrect disposal from the big man. And some good work. Kieran Wright taking the kick. Goes wide, good kick. Found out there, sorry, that was Hay.
Nick Hay, yes, off the Swans reserves in
That wind has
Belconnen last
dropped.
week.
Good mark taking Ben Sharp going back. It's almost a kick out here, set up for a zone. And 22, nearly 23-minute mark of this first, and the Dragons, they really haven't capitalised. Carey with the ball, too far out to score. He'll just drive it in long, hope for a mark. Who's in the area? In there, that was Shepherd. Almost said Richardson again in the number 5.
The snapshot there came from Adiri Wikrama.
And just
Well
offline.
well wide.
But just the 1 point, the margin. So go forward. The Dragons trying to find an avenue out. In the arms of Kilworth. Goes backwards. I really think they just need to chance their luck. Get it long on the boot.
Gee, while they've got the wind, it's, I would suggest, well worthy of its usage instead of filling around in the back line.
Milner. And now the turnover comes, and they really haven't. They had about 4 or 5 kicks there, and they've really only made about 55 metres. And now they're under pressure again. The kick coming in couldn't be taken there from Watson. Went back with the flight of the ball. Now they've turned it over. St George by the hands. They go backwards again. Jones runs around, tries to find a little bit of space. Now looks for his options. Goes wide. Out now. Some good work there. That was Shepherd again. And under pressure, Frangos goes backwards again. A speculator from that was Rickson, and they've turned it over. And the Dragons really messing around with the football at the moment. They're giving no chance to their forwards. Cam Smith drives it inside 50. Diri Wikrama under too much pressure. The second effort is good. Back on it now. Turns one way, goes the other way on the left. Gets it inside, but the kick got a great one. And the turnover comes. Ben Sharp. Sharp's kick. Well, that wasn't a good one either. And Carey's read it well. Back with the flight of the ball.
If only to use the long kicks down the ground is really letting St George down. They're giving Pennant Hills every opportunity to regain possession, and that's exactly what's happening.
Carey happy to set himself for a shot on goal here.
He's a
kick from about 45.
Confident shooter.
The wind just dipping right at the right moment. So no movement in the trees behind.
Oh,
Comes off the boot
good
beautifully,
looking
and the
kick up.
umpire just
Good looking kick, just missed.
Thought the umpire was set himself just for the grandstanding no move goal call. But in the end, just to the right of the post. Scores level. 25 minutes played the first quarter. We can almost write this one off as even. And we will. The siren sounds here at Olds Park. And a fantastic defensive effort by the Demons to go into quarter time level pegging with St George despite the heavy wind pushing from left to right. And they will definitely be coming out in the second term and making sure they may take full advantage of it. So at quarter time here, 2-4 apiece at Olds Park in this round 14 clash. St George and the Demons even at quarter time. We'll take a short break from Olds Park and we'll come back with all the action from the second quarter in about 5 or 6 minutes time.
What special commentary is it, Gussie?
Yes. So, critic came along there. Hello, Gus. Craig was kind of said, say hello to him.
Wings dropped off.
I expected that. The be up here.
Hey?
I thought you might have been up here.
Up where?
In my chair.
I couldn't fill your chair, Gus. You know that.
So we return to Olds Park, getting set for the second term. Scores even after the first quarter, despite the breeze, as we've said on a number of occasions, pushing left to right. It has dropped a little, but expect a different game plan, I reckon, from Chris Yard's Demons this afternoon in this second term.
I would suggest that Chris Yard would have been pretty happy with his charges at quarter time because they defended very stoutly and used the ball low into the wind. Now we'll see if they can employ tactics kicking it long into the wind. Sorry, with the wind.
In the middle again as we're underway. A bit of a stalemate in the circle. The umpire comes in for a secondary bounce. Still a little bit of spitting rain coming down. Dragons it is that goes forward for the first time. Merson spins out of tackle. Inside 50. Tough to mark that one. Work by Stucker to push it sideways. But St George with a little kick inside. They've got a player open in the square. And it is Kilworth. And he strolls in for an easy goal 30 seconds into the second term. Great start by the Dragons.
Oh yes, that took the Pennant Hills defence a little bit by surprise. Shepherd was caught out of possession and Kilworth worked his way very well onto that mark and took advantage of Shepherd and running in the opposite direction, moved into an open goal. Good start for St George in this quarter because they didn't show, I didn't expect that they'd be able to do as well straight up into the breeze as they have.
30 seconds, they've got their first on the board as they go again. Goodall, tough, back to Wales, under pressure. Now another tackle applied and Merson it was trying to just get off the deck. Good attack there from Kieran Wright, just pops it up on the right boot going forward. Sharked off there by West, the big man for the Dragons. Pops it out to Merson again. Eagle. The only Dragons colours. Parker bounces off his chest and his turnover comes. Gets it in there looking for Ryan. He's tackled, dispossessed. But onto it there was Green. And he drives them forward. Another player's clear. It's Kilworth again. Inside 50. Pops it up. Almost a well-weighted kick. Oh, brilliantly Shark there again. Just took possession. Put the brakes on. Got around his opponent. And I think that might be Addison.
It's almost as if St George have a loose man in their attacking zone because twice the ball's gone down there from pretty well-weighted kicks and there's been a man there on the spot both times.
It's Jones that kicked that goal. Apologies.
Yeah, very effective use of the space.
As the rain continues to fall here. They have to make a few arrangements. Breaking play. Electronics and water don't mix, Gus.
No.
We're still on the air at the moment. As they go forward again out of the centre, the Dragons.
Well, from the scores being all level at quarter time, very quickly St George have now opened up a 2-goal break.
How often do you see this though? You see the team that's got the win, they think the win's going to do it all, and they just lift their intensity against it. And as you've seen, they've kicked the first 2 goals of the quarter, St George. Now the Demons with their first foray forward, but chopped off straight away. Back there on half back.
Was Alexander Wynn.
Going forward again, could be holding the man, and it is. The umpire saw it. And the pop over, they've got players running into forward 50. Waves at the moment. I think that's Sharp out there has taken the mark.
Ryan's lurking down in the goal square.
Vidmer down there as well. He'll look after him.
Shepherd's there, probably Pennant Hills' best defender, although Wright has done tremendously well today.
Sharp's kick comes in. They like it off the boot. The umpire doesn't though. Oh. So just cut across to the goal line cameras there. Oh, hang on, Gus.
Score review.
I'm going to get those in the Sydney AFL for some time yet.
Frankly, I hope they never come because they're too indistinct, I believe. Even the AFL's wonderful technology's hardly good enough in most occasions.
A couple last night that were really well decided. But, yeah, I tend to agree with you. Kilworth's kick just speculative inside 50. And now on the burst. Oh, good old. Just couldn't hold it in. Does very well to spin around. Gets it on to Carey. Carey on the left boot. Nice long kick inside 50. Their first this quarter. Comes back down. In there's Vidma. He's worked his way down the ground. And eventually it'll go over the boundary line, but that's how quickly it can be transferred from one end to the other.
Pennant Hills attack will be looking for Stephen Ray, number 20. He's been a very good goal kicker through this whole season. Apart from the last couple of weeks, his goal kicking tallies have tapered off a little bit, but they'd be looking for him today.
Comes in, Runga tries to spin it around on the right boot, couldn't get it past the defenders, and they handball it around the line. And eventually, Green it was that handballed over. I suppose he was under a bit of pressure and the player was holding onto his jumper, but
I think the umpire was thinking about it.
Not a good look, just handballing it straight through. And he's gone over the line now, so they'll get another opportunity.
Not a common infringement, but it's one that should never, ever happen. The defender running out of the goal square on the kick out.
They almost make the penalty worse, and it would never happen. The ball up really always tends to end up in either a rush behind or another stoppage, as we'll see here. I reckon if you made it a kick at the top of the square, you'd see the fullbacks kicking out from behind the goals.
I think you might do too. A couple of rows back in some cases. There's a good kick for goal.
Spun around. That there was Nick Hay, and it's hit the post.
Just missed.
Just a minor score. Yeah, just what we need to do too at the moment, Gus. Just tinker with the rules. I don't think we've tinkered enough with it lately. Rules upon rules upon rules at the moment. Either way, Kieran Wright, big booming right boot. About 20 out from square. Hauls nicely for Carey. Fumbles the first touch. Swings her out on the left. Swung around too much. And another behind. 2 goals, 7 now.
Another Pennant Hills goal kicker who's been a bit lean on it lately in terms of goal tallies.
Short kick out of defence. Milner. Gets it on to Addison. Addison once again, this is almost a carbon copy of what the Demons did in the first quarter. Gilbert's kick. Trying to find West, and he does very well. West below his knees, gets the handball off. Now they're on the run. This is a great way to transfer the ball. Inside 50 now. The kick comes. It'll be a chase. Pushing back there. Could have been holding the man. In there was Shepherd, and he tackles Wilson high. And Wilson will get the kick. Excuse me. Some calls to play the advantage there, but can't see what happened. But Steve Wilson will kick. A very tight angle, only about 25 metres out. And that wind has certainly dropped, so played right in the hands of the Dragons. They kicked their third for the quarter, and they push the margin out to 16 points.
They really have used the ball well into the forward line and clearing in the defence. The clearing in defence eventually led to that very creative passage of play in the forward line, and a pretty careless tackle, let it be said, from the Pennant Hills defence to give Wilson that high tackle free kick.
Yeah, it was just a clumsy effort. Wilson may have accentuated to it, just dropping the knees. But the result is a goal, and the Dragons lead by 16. Back in the middle now, West with the advantage in height. Good all at ground level, just ties it up.
That breeze is coming and going. I think it's doing more going than coming at the moment. It's not nearly as strong as it was at the first bounce.
Deary Wikrama, handballs over, gets it to Angel, back to a Deary Wikrama. Left boot, moved well. Right now in possession, drives them forward. Who's in the area? Couldn't quite bring it down, comes down. Rod Craig, slick hands, gives it to Milner. He goes out. Kieran Wright once again just bodies his opponent out of the play. Runga across to Shepherd. I feel like I want to say Richardson every time he gets it. Looks like him wearing his number. Smith Drives them forward. Just sits up on his end, the football. And Vidma applies a good tackle. Gets the arms locked up. And a little bit of push and shove. Sharp in there, just trying to assert his place on the ground. Oh, that'll sting. The old cheek smother. Come down the wheel. That's holding the man. The umpire didn't call it. Smith. And it was probably good work by Stucker to get away with it. Delaquila just punches it forward, trying to get a little bit of advantage. Dragons with the speculative kick out of the back line. Wrapped up there. Some good work. Gives it off. This is Goodall on the left. And it'll float, but it'll just float through for a minor score. 2 goals, 8 now, the Demons.
Stephen Ray looked out to sit there, but he didn't go forward. I think in the finish he was hoping it would come over the back. Well, it did, but not into his hands.
Had their opportunities, the Demons, in this quarter, unable to put it on the board as yet. Dragons, on the other hand, well, it's almost 3 inside 50s for 3 goals. We throw in. Ryan in the ruck there, up against Schooler. Sporting precinct down here, Gus. Netball, soccer, all sorts of things going on. Yes. Baseball fields, well, they're not in use at the moment other than a few dogs running around, but it's a...
Yes, it's a wonderful sporting area here, and the St George people are very, very fortunate to have it.
Wilson just shows the ball nicely. Eventually puts it on the boot and has found Saddington. Too far out. He's probably going to kick 80 metres out, just waiting for the wave of players running back into the 50. Addison's pushed forward, got the second opportunity. Now he kicks it out there in front. That was Green, I think. And some good work from the Pennant Hills defender. Quite see who that was. Made sure it wasn't another opportunity. Free kick coming now. It's going to go to the Demons. In fact, it's not. It's going to go to St George. Addison again. Ryan having to do spoil in the end, and it comes up well now. Goes to Wilson, but his kick inside is chopped off by Angel. And the Demons, a little bit of a let-off. Gives it to right. The wind picking up again now, so this will float. Gets it over the back. It'll run. Waiting for the Demons to come on now. Oh, some good work there from Zickman. Just trapped the ball and got it going forward. Plenty of space now in the forward line for the Demons. Schooler into the pocket. Centres it up. Who's there now? How will it sit? Oh, it just goes over the top. That was Ray. And the St George defence stands solid. Although the turnover comes and the mark taken by Edmonds.
Have not seen a lot of Edmonds today, but he has been in good form, and let's hope from here on he can perhaps add a bit more to his side's attacking weapons.
They need a goal, the Demons.
Generally a good kick for goal.
Comes off well, the umpire tracks it in, he likes it, and the Demons have put the first on the board for the second term, and they reduce the margin back to single digits. It's 9 points.
Gee, after witnessing the first term with the strong breeze, which has fallen away a little bit now, it's hard to figure that St George could have kicked 3 goals to 1 when in fact they are kicking against the wind. But that's what the scoreboard says, and the Pennant Hills team have not used the ball very well going forward at all. The key forwards that should be there kicking the goals for them have been comparatively ineffective so far, apart from Zickman, of course. He has 2.
9 points the margin. Played 14 minutes of this second term. As it goes forward again for Pennant Hills. Pushing back was Milner for the Dragons. Tries to get the clearance, but Parker jumps on it. He pounces, he kicks a goal, and quickly, as you say, another one for the Demons. Margin 3 points.
Sebastian Parker, back pocket specialist. Can't figure out how he got down there, but he did, and he was in the right place at the right time, as they say in the classics. And there's nothing more that a back pocket player enjoys than kicking a goal.
You see here, ball came in as a chaos ball for the Demons. Milner there tried to get it clear, just pulled the kick trying to get it across there to win. The kick wasn't a great one, and Parker, well, he just pounced.
Well, Parker, I see, still in the forward pocket where he kicked that goal from, so it could well have been a positional change there. Nothing more, I guess he's looking forward to now doubling and trebling his goal tally.
They had to try something. They were just, once again, not taking advantage. And that may have been the masterstroke from Chris Yard. Angel overruns it, but there is Witt. Drives it forward. Can Parker get another one? He doesn't need to at the moment. Ray's taken the mark. And he'll kick from about 40 metres out.
Well, he's,
and this for the lead.
He's a forward that's overdue for a few goals, and he's well capable of kicking this.
Stephen Ray kicked 3 last week in their win over UTS. This shouldn't be an issue. Nicely done. Very relaxed kick. And the results on the board. Demons are in front for the first time this afternoon.
3 quick goals there. Edmonds, Parker, and now Ray. And that's the Pennant Hills forward line beginning to function as we figured it would. So it could well be the start of the goal-kicking tallies that are going to win the game as many people from Pennant Hills would have expected.
There's 4 goals kicked in the first term. Already this term we've kicked 3 goals apiece. Game starting to open up just that little bit. Widmer up against West there. West with the tap out.
Using a Diriwick Rama in the midfield too. I think that's really livened things up for Pennant Hills.
I like that. I think he sometimes gets wasted up there in the forward line. Angel. Especially when the ball's there to be won. Shaw trying to push his way through. Good attack on the football. Just held up the tackle though. Good work from Jones from the Dragons. They pop it wide. Shepherd. Good kick. Wales gets it on the second bounce. Drives it in. Oh, good work from... it was Parker pushing forward, getting in front of his teammate. Delaquila. Well, there's some old heads around the football for Pennant Hills.
Oh, yes, both players have been around the team for a long time and served their club very, very well. But Parker, he's looking like a hungry forward now, not a back pocket player.
You get many opportunities as a backman, and when you get them, you've got to take them. Held up here. Just outside 50 for the Demons. 17.5 played in this second term. Margin 3 points in favour of the boys from Pennant Hills. That could be holding the man. The umpire didn't see it. Should have been against Dunn. And just letting it go. Tackles there. No one forward of halfway for St George at the moment. So if they get this, they'll just have to kick it short. They run there now. Addison leading the charge. Tackled straight away by Wright. Addison did well just to pull him down with him. He knew he was going to go to the ground. He just want to take a player out of the contest. And Stucker, I've enjoyed his game so far this afternoon, Gus.
Yes, as I said much earlier today, he played in our reserve grade for several seasons, and finally the talent was recognised earlier this season. And at 32 years of age, he made his debut, and he's been an integral part of the defence since.
There's hope for us yet, Gus. Dunn takes it over the boundary line.
I've liked Lloyd Shepherd's efforts today too. He's what I would term the thinking man's footballer. You can almost see the brain cells ticking over every time he gets it.
Now, Gus, thinking footballer.
Well, he's an exception.
St George trying to get the ball going forward again. West over top of his arms. That means it was quite a high ball, that one. And St Pennant Hills have done well to get this out of the area and just over the boundary line. See the benches on the far side here at St George.
Yes, it's something I've never seen before, but right there at the beginning of the game, the Pennant Hills people had to move lock, stock and barrel to the far side, far wing. I don't think they were aware of the change in location until it came right upon them.
Yeah, the thinking behind it is fair in that the sun does come down right where our cameras are pointing, and at the end of the afternoon it can be almost impossible to see as that sun gets lower, but I don't think sun's going to be an issue this afternoon. Jones couldn't quite take possession. Eventually he gets it down on the deck. In there is right again as the rain gets a little bit heavier again. And makes arrangements. Goodall, he's up against there. Craig. And Cam Smith, well, he's just a consummate performer for the Demons. This kick, unfortunately, offline. Tomlins. Across. Sharp. Top of the 50, Wales.
Oh, used the body beautifully there to edge his opponent out.
It's well built. Here's Tim Wales. Opposing figure on the ground. Goes short. Gives it to Watson. Watson back to Smith. Just assessing the options. We're into time 1 in the second. And we push forward and the turnover comes. So, whereas we were sort of lauding the performance by the Demons in that first term to limit St George's scoring options, it's almost on the other foot now that St George have created their own scoring options in this second term. And you'd almost think, Gus, that there's no breeze out there at all. It's just a normal day of football.
Well, it's appearing that way at 5 goals apiece. It's certainly, it was not expected that St George would come out and kick 3 goals, which in fact is one more than they kicked in the first quarter when they had the aid of the quite strong breeze at that time. Still time for another score here, though, I think. Here's Ted Widmer in the middle. If he can use it long, he's found Zickman.
Taken.
Sam Zickman. Well within his capabilities.
Well, they desperately like this at the 22-minute mark of the first term. Zickman put another one through the big sticks. And just open up a little bit of a lead. They lead by 3 points at the moment. And any other advantage they can take into the halftime break would be good for the Demons.
Nice long approach. Well balanced.
Looks good off the boot. Has it got the legs? It has. And judged it beautifully, did Zickman.
Good kick from Sam Zickman. Just cleared the pack. Aided a little bit on the goal line by a clever shepherd, but that's all in the game of football. So Sam Zickman gets his 3rd goal and puts the Pennant Hills now are 4 points in front.
No, 9 points up.
9 points in front.
They're a bit behind on the scoreboard, I think. They've missed it behind, I think. Check that at half-time. It's a good effort late in the quarter by the Demons. St George, who skipped away early. They've taken their opportunities in the back half of the quarter, and they now lead by 9 points. Tackle applied. That was Matt Thomas. Shadows of half-time here at Olds Park. 2nd versus 4th. Demons versus St George. And at the moment, both teams performing well in trying conditions. St George push forward again. Oh, mark taken in the back there from Thomas. Not paid. And St George still have an opportunity. Kick comes through. Spoiled off there was Hay. Now the tackle applied. Umpire will have to make a decision here. Which way is he going to go holding the ball?
Could have gone either way, that tackle, but the St George player did put his head down, so umpires are more inclined now not to award high tackles in that instance.
The kick turned over badly. Now Gilbert with the ball. Can they get a late one, St George? Not with that kick. Good all. Not sure what he was trying to do there. There was plenty of Demons jumpers around that. And the kick, once again, not a great one, so not a good display of skill so far. Delaquila just gets his boot involved, gets it going forward. And they just can't keep possession at the moment. Good attack there from Runga Adiri Wikrama. And just holds it up. 24 and a half played. Away with it again, St George. They've been much better in this second term. Pennant Hill's been up to the task.
Oh, wonderful.
Good mark under pressure.
The long arms of the thinking man's footballer, Lloyd Shepherd.
Goes short. They'll just be happy to take this lead in. Hay with the ball. Plenty of Demons here. They no talk there. Goodall. They spoil each other. Good second effort from Goodall. Puts it in the path of Smith. Up it comes. Now with West for the Dragons. His kick, well, it should have been a handball, but it got there eventually. Now they're away. A chance for a late one. It's just a turnover at half-back again. And in there, Kieran Wright.
He's been like the Rock of Gibraltar there, Kieran Wright.
Good spot out there to Delaquila. Tops it over. Gives it to Ray. Inside 50. Good kick. And on the lead. I think that's done, is it?
It looks to me like James Dunn, yes. It is James Dunn. He kicked 2 beautiful goals earlier in the season from a similar range out there at Henson Park. I believe your cameras were there to witness that against Sydney University. Let's hope he can repeat the dose right now. James Dunn.
Right in the shadows of half-time. Dunn's kick slides off the boot, but they like it.
Yes, he's a quality
And he splits the
footballer.
middle. And the Demons extend their lead to 15 points.
Yes, James Dunn, a pretty reliable kick for goal. The goal kickers now for Pennant Hills, just as we come to half-time, Sam Zickman 3 singles to Parker, who's been relocated to the forward line. Stephen Ray, James Dunn, who got the last goal. Tommy Edmonds, singles to St George goal kickers Ben Jones, Stephen Wilson, Carl Merson, Dominic Kilworth and Jason Saddington.
Just as we approach the 27-minute mark of this second term. Can't be long to go in the quarter. Blue skies behind us, Gus. That's a good sign.
It is.
Go forward again off the ruck. The Demons up to the task. This one will hit over the boundary line. Reset. Long quarter, Gus. 27 and a half minutes played so far.
Edmonds.
Out of bounds. And will be a throw in. And there's the siren. So at the end of the quarter, it's been a quarter of 2 halves, so to speak. St George came out quickly, kicked 3 goals against the Breeze. We thought they might have just found another gear, but Pennant Hills, they had early opportunities that they couldn't convert, but in the end they kicked 4 goals, in fact 5 goals in the end for the term. And they go into the main break, 15 points up over their opponents. St George 5-5-35, the Demons 7-8-50. And we'll take a short break here at Olds Park. This one long way from being over. Can the Demons hold their lead, or will the Dragons make a run in the second term? We'll be back in about 15 minutes' time, bring you all the action here on AFL Sydney Live.
Bill from Moorabbin or Jono down south goes. Hey, well, it's shit, so it must have been absolute.
Well, it's always fog.
I've never ever heard of that.
What's it going to be on fucking viewport or something? He's filming, it's going to upload.
something a bit stronger than water, wouldn't they? Good McWilliams sweep.
Oh, the idea. We do it prior to the night, and then on the night probably just do that one thing that just sort of shoot through it pretty quickly. But so it's announced the week prior. So, but yeah, which is something that I like. If you do that job, that's something I'll actually like drive run. So, but yeah, obviously works. It's a work schedule.
Yeah,
Where's he going to Just one in King.
going to be the next Bruce Baccavani. I laugh and laugh.
Yeah, it is.
9 years old.
We've got a Chinese bloke calling the game.
I heard that, yeah. Mandarin.
Yeah, so we're in Tour, flying the gun. And then we'll do a highlight.
Takes down to Haymarket, down to Dixon Street, put it on the big screen.
Well, we're tweaking 8 different languages.
Is that right?
At one stage, I'm going probably 20 years ago, Parramatta had a group of Vietnamese lads playing. There were 2 or 3 families who were related. And they were very good, but I don't know what happened. They just put together football.
I would have done something with it. At the moment, they've got quite a few Sudanese guys running around in the 19s and footballers.
Well, I hope
They really try and tap into that market because, especially with their 19s, because they're struggling numbers.
I get the impression that the Sudanese family, the young lads particularly, are all looking for something to do. But if we can get them involved in footy, it's going to go a long way towards making young men of them.
Yeah.
And they're all built to play.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Some cool boys, though.
Straight across, isn't it?
Yeah. You could see a lot of ball this morning.
I sort of got here and go car, but I don't know.
Oh, is that way? Yeah, right, okay. 'Cause, yeah, when I was driving out here, I jumped online to have a look, and I was like, I was trying to work out where you were. Like, shoot, yeah.
So, are you one of the nationwide viewers?
I was briefly, yeah. For the first quarter. First quarter as I was driving here. Listen to the dulcet tones of Gus.
Oh, that breeze is coming back, Craig.
So just about set here at Olds Park for the third term. And the story so far was a very even battle in that first term, and replicated on the scoreboard as we went into the quarter-time break. The scores level St George really got the jump in that second term, came out and kicked 3 goals and looked like they were going to take control. Pennant Hills really pegged their way back into the game and ended up going into the main break with a 15-point buffer. So anything can happen in this third term as we get set for the start.
Yes, and George got the first 3 goals very quickly in the second quarter, and then just as suddenly their scoring dried up, and the Demons came to do what they were expected and kicked another 5 goals for the quarter.
All set for the start of the third term. Round 14 in the AFL Sydney competition, and it's second versus fourth in Pennant Hills versus the Dragons. As once again we see a studded start to the quarter. Secondary bounce. As players converge on the play. Get the handball out. Tackle applied by Angel. In there as well as Thomas. And it's wrapped up. We'll have another ball up.
Interesting to see Sebastian Parker, the Pennant Hills back pocket player, resuming his normal position.
Got away with it for a little while, but has to go back now and do his... Just going to play one into the ground, it seems like, Gus.
It could be. Doing a Ross Glendenning of many years ago.
We were just noticing in that halftime break, the wind seems to have swung around a little bit. Seems to be blowing straight into our faces here on the near side. So the advantage almost taken away from both sides. And as we've already seen in this quarter, the play likely to be played on this near side. Delaquila wrapped up in the tackle. And we'll have the 4th ball up of the term inside a minute.
Renga Adiri-Wikrama appears to be back in the forward line for Pennant Hills after a stint in the midfield in the second quarter.
Comes out off the hands there of Green. Now St George move it through the midfield. Ends up with Nick Ryan.
He's had a really good battle with Lloyd Shepherd, 2 quality players.
Good punch from behind, right. Now Smith. Straight through the middle of the ground. Good work there at the back from Witt to get the spoil. We're trying to get the ball going their way. Comes out now with Sharp. Pops it over in the path. Milner couldn't find the handle. Has to apply the tackle on Runga Adiri-Wikrama. Ball spills free. Ends up back with Witt. And he kicks out to the wide side looking for Carey, but he's got 2 to beat. And applies the tackle. Did very well, did Matthew Carey. And the ball trickles over. Ball in, far side, right in front of the netball fields over there. Vidmer in the ruck. The umpire's seen something. He's called it a throw out of the ruck. Deemed he took possession and pushed it down. Widmer pleads his case.
That was Sam Widmer.
I can never tell the difference, Gus, there.
Yeah, hard to tell apart.
And another free kick. So the umpires are seeing a few of the little free kicks at the moment and paying them accordingly. Ryan, he booms it long inside 50, looking for Saddington. Gets the first grab. Good work there from Stucker. And a free kick comes. High tackle, plays the advantage, and it's going to go out in the bounds on the full. And St George players pleading, but it's not the umpire's fault of bad skills there. And
that was a lovely long kick from Ryan. Then it just shows how effective a long kick can be in this wind. You mentioned Stucker there a moment ago. He's done particularly well too in defence for Pennant Hills.
Kilworth, gets the turnover. The handball comes into the square. He's dispossessed. I think that was Addison. And eventually, off the boot of Green, swings it around. Thank you very much for a behind. Geez, good theatre by the goal umpire there.
Yes, to all intents and purposes on its way. It looked a goal for Harry Green, but not to be.
Well, when the goal umpire steps up to the middle of the goal square and displays a behind.
Not one player further from over the centre line for either side in the Pennant Hills forward region.
Yeah, it's a hard one to pick at the moment. This wind as it comes straight across the ground. Zickman down in defence, gives it to Wales. He's troubled out of it. Adiri-Wikrama, very nice pick up off the deck. Good disposal, gives it to Delaquila. They're building here now with Widmer. He's under pressure. Milner to apply the tackle and causes the turnover. Carey with a good tackle. Good work there from the Demons. Picked up by Watson. He kicks it inside 50. Could have been a free kick. Doesn't matter. Gets there eventually, and it's a goal to Ray. Great play, Demons.
Well worked, Pennant Hills. Finding Ray there, one out. As you said, Craig, could well have been a free kick. Didn't matter. He took possession, kicked the goal.
Comes back and then look at the efforts down here of Adiri with Grama to get it going forward, and then forward pressure from Matthew Carey.
Lovely tackle from Carey. That was really the incident that kept the ball moving forward for Pennant Hills. It looked like it could well have gone back the other way, but Carey's tackle was very effective.
20 points to the margin in favour of the Demons now.
Second goal for Stephen Ray.
Back in the middle, West against Widmer. West with the advantage, gets it straight down. Nice work in the centre. They go forward. This could have been nice. Nick Ryan just drops the mark. Had both hands to it. Now the tackle comes, just taking too long to get rid of it. And Harrison Green.
Yes, that was Delaquilla's tackle. Very effective.
They go wide now, the Demons. Parker. Near side, Wales. Derry Grama giving him good or long if he wants to use him. Doesn't go there. Goes inside to Delaquilla. They're closed up now, the Dragons. Plenty of players on this near side. Parker goes backwards. They've gained about 5 metres in that play, but they've still got possession. Thomas. See something he's liked. It's going to be a big contest here. Good to take the mark. Oh, he almost brought it down there. Did Angel. Spills free now. The Dragons on the rebound. Shaw goes down the line and just runs out of room. Did Saddington. And we'll see a ball in. So there's no players forward of half. Now there's no players on the other side of the ground. They're all in this hemisphere of the oval. Kilworth trying to find a way through. Eventually just has to get it off the boot. Doesn't gain any ground. In fact, almost came down, hit him on the head. And eventually goes over the boundary line. Everyone's pushed to this near side. Ryan at the back. Delaquilla's initial kick smothered, takes possession again and wrapped up. Pennant Hills with the only goal of the quarter so far. Oh, that was a slick handball. Jones. And once again, another boundary throw in.
Yes, Craig, as a broadcaster of many moons ago would say, you could build a couple of blocks of flats on 2/3 of the field. Peter Landy, I believe.
Once again, just scrubbing it forward. Zickman, the ball evades him. And another boundary throw in. Earning the money this afternoon is our boundary umpire on the near side. Comes down. Really no advantage. Trying to swing boots around, trying to get the ball going some direction. Goodall decides to run with it. Gets it out eventually, but the turnover comes. This is Jones. Puts it inside 50, sits up, it's floating back. Great mark taken by Stucker.
Very good work there from Stucker. He's had Saddington all afternoon and done a pretty good job on him.
I have to agree. Smith just fumbles it at the last minute. Good enough to get back on it. Just pops it over. Gives it to Wright. Wright runs around. Does the old 360. Then puts himself under a little bit of pressure by taking long. The kick, not a good one. And the mark taken by Merson. Either way, it was either a mark or high contact in the spoil. And we'll track this one right from behind him.
Yes, Merson kicked a very long goal in the first quarter, so this should be, in terms of distance at least, pretty easy assignment for him.
Said earlier, copped a bake during the week from one of the local journos. Up to scratch. He'll be looking to find some form. Parker does his best to put him off. This will float to the right. Just didn't give it enough. And just the minor score. Margin 19 points. 9 minutes in, third term. Ball come in right, decides to run with it. Now kicks to the pack that's formed. West in there for St George, and the big tall tower takes the mark. A few spots of rain start to fall again. West just goes long now. Sees something he likes in Saddington. Just didn't get there in the end. And the ball ends up in the arms of Parker, and he just runs it over. We'll have a boundary throw in. Just the one goal scored so far. We've played 10 minutes in this third term. St George will need to get a little bit of move on and take advantage of some of their opportunities if they're going to get themselves back into this game. Parker again goes for the touchline. Forces the line out. Plenty of numbers around this football at the moment. West and Widmer go battle. Widmer brings it down, but the tackle's applied on Wales. Gets the ball clear. Could have been high. Umpire didn't see it. Addison, I think it is in there at the bottom of the pack. And eventually a ball up. So quarter started with a flurry of free kicks. It's now all every man for himself. Another ball up. Running out of room in the stoppages column. Parker hits the ball running. Once again, kick quickly off the boot of Thomas. Ends up there with Wynn. Wynn throws it around on the left. I'll tell you what, it's gone through the middle, and the Dragons have got one back.
Great opportunistic goal there after a series of scrimmages, ball ups, mauls almost. It came out to Wynn, and he really snapped truly. Goal, Alexander Wynn, his first of the afternoon.
Quick look here, just check that. It looked like it did come off Wynn, but it was Parker who pushed through. Thomas who kicked it back. It ended up with Wynn. In fact, he did very well to get around a lot of traffic and threw it on the left boot. So a great goal to Alex Wynn. As we go back again, and it's once again St George go forward, but chopped off
by the ever reliable Kieran Wright. Really has defended well.
Wales has gone to ground on this occasion, probably needed to hold his feet, and stepped around nicely by Merson. And the kick in was even better, and Saddington's got it. He's on the 50 line now. He can kick this. Needs to aim left point post. The distance shouldn't be an issue. We've seen the ball sail nicely to the right of screen. Gives it plenty. Is it going to come back? Hasn't got the distance, and then eventually punched through for a minor score. Barging back to two straight kicks. St George mounting a little bit of a comeback at the moment.
Going back to the low-scoring epic of the first quarter with only one goal apiece to this time in the third quarter. One could have well expected more goals than that.
Sun peeking its nose through at the moment. A little bit of rain still falling, nothing really to speak of. And now Pennant Hills employing the tactic of maintaining possession out of the back line. Dirigrama now to Thomas. Kick to a pack. West there for the Dragons. This time he couldn't bring it down. And they lock it in. Have a ball up near side. A loose player going forward, have St George if they can just find a way to get the ball going that way. Not in this pocket, unfortunately. Still Aquila takes the mark. Goes back to right. Call. Pressure. Force the kick. Find one short again in Thomas. In fact, that's good all. It's got Shepherd long, but decides to go short. Smart option. Just slowly creeping the ball forward. The danger here, of course, is one turnover and you can lose all advantage. And good result for the Demons over the boundary line.
high, Saints, long and high. Pressure.
Big push out there from West. Used his body well. And go forward again, the Demons. They're just inching their way forward at the moment.
Pretty effective ball control from Pennant Hills, bringing the ball out. It's taken a lot of kicks to get just forward of the wing, but they have done it pretty well.
It's a carbon copy of that first quarter effort where they just cribbed it forward. Dunn shows a little bit of pace. Goes inside 50 now. The kick's just offline. And reading it well was Wynn. Now he wants to go for a trot. There's a mile of space on that far side of Olds Park. And that's exactly where he goes to. Some good work now. Shaw. They've moved it quickly. Turnover. Jones just couldn't quite get there. Smith up to the task. Jones just didn't give him an easy kick. Gives it to Angel. Angel's kick down the line. In there. Could have been high. Umpire says play on Edmonds. The big call out there. You can see the outstretched arms of coach of the Dragons, Mudge. His pleas unheard.
Not even on his birthday can he get free kicks for his team. So I've been reliably informed. 50 today, Terry Mudge.
Goes forward. Mark taken by Wynn. And as we said earlier, there was no one in the far side of the ground. At the moment, they've all just pushed outside. So every player on the outer wing. Pack forms. Falls to the back. Good hands there. Pushing through was Merson. Good work from Shepherd. Make sure the turnover didn't come, but eventually. Now he sees the running player in the form of Matt Carey. Dishes off now. Pushes forward now to provide an option. Thomas. Now where's Carey pushed forward? That's beautifully played by Matt Carey. Knew exactly what needed to be done. And now Carey's kick is a great one. And
James Dunn
is done.
Certainly not beyond James Dunn. Kicked a very good goal in the latter part of the second quarter and could well be up to this one.
Yeah, I really like the way Matt Carey did that. Just pushed the ball back, gave the handball off, then sprinted to make an option going forward, knowing that there was not a lot inside 50. St George players are really on the line now for Dunn. The wind is not really going to affect it. He just pushes it right and eventually goes over for a minor score. Margin 13 points, 17 and a half played in this third term. Now it's St George's turn to try and maintain possession as they get the ball out of their back line. And they've worked it well. Merson goes long. Got an option there, but pushing back is Wales. Good mark taken with the flight of the ball. And now Pennant Hills on the counter-attack. Deary Rick Rama seems to have sort of pushed into the midfield again, Gus.
Yes, he's floated around a little bit now from where he started.
Edmonds goes short and the turnover comes. Merson, he's had a good game this afternoon. The kick over. Eventually gets to where it was intended. Sharp, under pressure now is Sharp of the brother. Two Sharps combining. A pair of scissors, wouldn't it, Gus? Dunn hits the ball hard. Gets it going forward. I've liked his game this afternoon. Tries there looking for Zickman. Couldn't get there eventually. Carey now with the ball. Doesn't want to go to ground. Does it well. Handballs it inside of the danger zone and just rolls around the boundary line. Eventually comes back. And the Dragons are able to let off a little bit of pressure as the ball goes over the boundary line.
Good defence there from Shepherd. He's a hard man to get a kick on.
There's the rolling pack forms around this throw-in. Unopposed Smith in the ruck. That'll be his normal role. Ducks, tries to go around, slung to the ground as he kicked it. Wales now trying to apply the tackle. They come forward again and Kilworth takes the mark just inside the boundary line. Goes long. It's an ugly looking kick going forward. At the back of the pack, they've read this well, the Dragons. They just need it to sit. Derek Rama applies the pressure. Couldn't get through there. Jones, he's had a great game this afternoon. That handball was fantastic to Frangos. Tries to centre it up. Good vision and perfectly executed. And it's Wynn with the ball. We've seen him kick a goal already this quarter. And he'll go back and have a shot. But that was fantastic work by Ben Jones and matched by Frangos as he just centred the ball up and kicked sideways and opened it up for Wynn. Taking his time. Distance shouldn't be an issue. Comes in and just the accuracy pushes it to the left-hand side. A let off for Pennant Hills. 12 points the margin again.
Yes, that was a let off. It could well have been another goal to win. Should have been another goal to win. Win coming up again. Craig, I think it's a little bit stronger than when we started the second half.
It's going to be a telling final quarter. That's not the best kick coming off the boot there of Kieran Wright. It eventually gets to where it needs to go to. Running out of room now, the Demons. Umpire says holding the ball. It's an interesting decision. I think he did handball it. Nick Ryan, the recipient of the kick. Just needs to drive them long. Put a little bit of pressure on inside 50. Does that now, centres it up. They fly. Ball comes to the deck. Good work from the Demons defence. The quick kick out though. Almost a turnover. It comes now. Green pushes back to West. Back to Green. Has to go to the pocket. Going to run out of room out of there. And gentleman in the fold-up chair was in the firing line there for a moment. Scotty Birkinshaw down there. Just propped himself up having a look at the football. Good work, Kilworth.
Done well this afternoon, Kilworth. He's a pretty quality footballer when going.
Go inside now. Good run off the deck there, Lukakas. Haven't seen much of him this afternoon. The ball eventually turns and goes through the goal line, but touched on its journey. 11 points the margin now. 22 and a half played. The Dragons desperately need to get a goal. Need to keep themselves within firing distance going into the final term.
Well, I've been peppering the goals in the last few minutes for very, very meagre rewards.
Long kick out looking for West. He flies. Ryan and him go a battle a little bit more. So free kick comes for a push in the back. It'll be Witt to take it. Gives it off. It's a maintaining possession game that Pennant Hills have played so well. Adiri Wigrama takes it. Parker, I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Trying to change the rules, I think.
Create his own sort of form of the game. And Dunn, I've really liked his game this afternoon, Gus. He's just been everywhere on Olds Park.
He's got a lot of endurance and he plays well to possession in terms of knowing where the ball's going to go. That's the way I sum James Dunn up as a footballer.
Strong mark taken by Cam Smith. Goes short to Wales.
This fellow's all polished too, Tim Wales.
He's got Zickman at the back there, hailing the cab. Goes there now. Right in the pocket, but a good set, a good mark taken by Jordan West.
Son of David West, for those old timers who can remember. His father David won a Phelan medal playing with this St George club 25 years ago perhaps. Very, very good footballer, his father David.
Win to Merson. Back out to the pocket. Toying with the boundary line. This one will go out, you would believe. Saddington just scoops it up to Kilworth. And they've got a little bit of momentum. Going forward now, it's a foot race. Wright up against Shaw. Shaw was closing. Wright was well held there. Just got it, kept it in front of him. And eventually finds the boundary line, which is Exactly what I think he was going for, Gus.
I think he was too, but he needed to win that race, otherwise it was an open goal to St George, and Kieran Wright did very well, as he's done all afternoon.
24 and a half played. Can't be long to go. We've had only a few scoring opportunities, although we've had plenty of out of bounds. And St George go forward again. Almost got that one in, but a minus score. 6 goals 11, plays 8 goals 9.
Well, they kicked 1 goal 6 according to my reckoning this quarter, which is, as I said a few moments ago, a pretty poor reward for the dominance that they've had in their attacking zone.
It's a little bit reminiscent of that first term where they did have their opportunities and unable to convert. The kick comes in now. It's turned over straight away. The mark taken from Tomlins. He goes short and just on the siren. It ends up in the arms of David Lukakis. And this one is desperately needed. This to reduce the margin to 4 points at three-quarter time. Keep them within striking distance. He's lucky there, Tomlins.
The ball could well have been in the air when the siren went, but
lucky it was a
just
short
made
kick.
Just made it in time.
Lukakis will kick from inside 50. Plenty of pressure on the kick, and he's pushed it well to the right, so not the result you'd want going into the three-quarter time. And as we do that, the last change, we'll see that it is a lead of 9 points to the Demons. The St George Dragons had their opportunities in that term, unable to convert, and the Demons hold a 9-point lead and certainly will go into the final term with the scoring advantage to the right of screen. The Dragons 6 goals 12-48. The Demons, they've got 8-9-57. We'll take a very short break here at Olds Park as we set ourselves for the final term. It's round 14 in the AFL Sydney competition. Demons by 9 points. All set for the final term here at Olds Park. It's the Demons by 9 points. And they'll be kicking with what's been the advantage all afternoon to the right of screen. So you'd think they'd be able to hold on, but only time will tell as we get underway in the in the final term. And as we saw in that second term, Gus, St George straight away with an attacking play. They go forward.
Oh, Kieran
Wright back there did very well against Bryce Addison.
Very well again.
Wales, those two link up very well. And Schooler, well, Stucker. He's had a great day today.
Yes, he's had a name opponent in Saddington, but stuck to the task very, very well.
Comes down.
If it comes to a close finish, St George can only look during the third quarter when they kicked a 1-goal-7 and were extremely wasteful. They could well have been holding a 2 or 3 goal lead by now with straight kicking.
Again, a little bit of fine misty rain comes through. Be sick of that by the afternoon's end. Tomlins, handball's back inside. Green with a quick handball, gives it off again. Green, this time to Jones. He'll liked his game this afternoon. Goes back, pushing through Merson, another good contributor. And he's tackled out, holding the ball. That was very hard.
Yes, that was good work from Goodall. He made several tackles in that exchange and has rewarded with the...
Maybe it was a cumulative free kick. Got a holding the ball for 4 tackles rather than the one. Adiri Rikrama applies the tackle on that occasion. And
he's like a tiger, Ranga Adiri Rikrama. He's so persistent. He never lets his opponents get clear and tackles them at the drop of a hat.
And again, umpire said a free kick here. High contact on Matt Carey. He'll be, well, you would have backed him in a couple of years back, but kicking outside 50.
I'd back him in now too.
Well, there you go. He's got the blessing. Have a shot, son.
I don't think he's probably as accurate as he used to be, but he'll make the distance. I'm sure of that.
Measured approach.
He's very well balanced too. Look at
geez, Gus.
Yes.
You absolutely murdered him.
Yes, he's been knocking out of that one.
I'd hazard to guess that's the worst kick I've seen Matt Carey kick in about 10 years. As it eventually comes out, the Demons still got a chance, and Carey in there trying to right the wrong. Rod Craig just tracks that back and over the boundary line. Over the goal line.
I once saw Matthew Carey in a game here at this ground kick 4 goals in about 7 minutes. That was some seasons ago, admittedly, but it's a memory that will always stick in my mind in terms of the beautiful balance and the accuracy he showed that afternoon and the rapidity with which he scored his goals. And we have Ranga Adiri Wikrama rewarded for his tackling. Now has a shot at goal.
So a little closer in. I think that distance won't be a problem on this kick. See the umbrellas in the back, and the rain just getting a little bit heavier. Still nothing to affect the play. It's quite weird. We've got blue skies behind us, but rain's still falling as Adiri Rikrama comes in. Beautiful kick off the boot, straight through the middle. The Demons get another one back, and they now lead by 16 points.
That was a handy goal to open up the break that Pennant Hills needed. St George in the second quarter, as we remember, they kicked 3 quick goals to open the scoring in that quarter, and had they done it this time, of course, it would have been not to Pennant Hills' advantage, but that 16-point margin is probably as big a margin as we've had between the two teams today.
Yeah, right, Gus, and hazard to guess it might be just too much for the Dragons to peg back at this stage of the game. Widmer goes up unopposed, comes down to Merson pushing through. But eventually it's the Demons again, off the boot of Goodall. Good contributor this afternoon. Out to Parker, he's on the wing now. He's just everywhere, Gus.
Yes, he is.
Goes back to Parker.
I suspect you'll find him on the forward line again soon.
And the kick goes forward, and a good mark taken. It's Thomas.
It is Thomas.
Steps around. The big show. We haven't seen that for a long time. Kicks inside 50, good mark going back, not rewarded. And the kick off the boot is offline. And another minus score to the Demons.
That kick came off the boot of Sam Zickman, looking for goal number 4. Not finding it.
Kick 3, but he hasn't been the damaging forward that he can be, you'd have to say, this afternoon. Some tough conditions for a leading full forward. Good mark taken on the far wing. This is Kieran Wright now. He can kick this, that's for sure. Wind behind him. Be a good kick if you can get it. Tough pocket. Opens up the angle. Kicks it low with the breeze. Brings it back too much. 6-12 plays 9-12 now. 3 goals the margin.
In a situation like this, if Pennant Hills can keep the ball in their forward line, even if they're not scoring heavily, it's certainly going to be to their advantage.
Time will be on their side. George trying to create something down this near side. Under a lot of pressure. Could have been holding the jumper there, and he was. The umpire didn't see it. And Merson just comes off the boot, turns them around. Pennant Hills now with the counter-attack. Adira Wikrama finds the open space in front. Now on the left boot, goes back through the corridor. Goodall the target. Spins on it, goes well. Off the boot, just slides to the right. Need to take a little bit more time on the kick.
Using his non-preferred foot, not quite as effective.
Reset. All players forward of halfway again. It's been that sort of game this afternoon. Sharp with the clearing kick. Tomlins gets turned around, eventually has to go by hand. Underneath goes Nick Ryan. They've run the ball through. They need the runners. That could have been holding the man. He didn't quite take possession. And eventually the free kick comes. There's a little bit on too here from Lakakis. A little bit of push and shove, plenty of jumper pulling, nothing to write home about. And the Demons, well, they try and get the ball going in clearly. Vidmar with the busting run, kicks it around 90 degrees to the body, and Carey not paid. Well, thought that one was...
I thought he'd marked it clearly too, but as Lou Richards used to say, the umpires are a whole lot closer than we are.
Pennant Hills now still putting the pressure on. Free kick coming. It's going to go to the Demons. And it'll be Widmar holding the man.
Here's Ted Widmer with the ball now. Once considered by some judges not to be the most reliable kick for goal, but has improved his accuracy in recent times, and let's hope we can do better than we did with poor Matthew Carey in his last set shot.
He comes in.
Looks all
It
right.
wasn't the greatest looking action, but the result much better. The Demons get another one. 24 points the margin now, and you'd have to say they're home.
Yes, this certainly is the biggest margin of the game, and St George facing a pretty stiff breeze to kick into. I think they've only made it into the forward 51 time this quarter. It's been almost solely in the Pennant Hills forward line, and while it remains there, St George a no-show to win.
Well, they're giving up an opportunity to move into third spot, the Dragons. It looks like Western Suburbs to Sydney Uni. Sydney Uni are on top in that game at half-time. Long way to be played, but it's an opportunity that may go begging for the Dragons as Jones kicks it in. Looking there for Shaw. Ryan in the area as well, busting through. Cameron Smith at the bottom of the pack. Shepherd as well, eventually gets there. Throws on the boot. Widmer with some pace. Hits the
Widmer
ball. Oh,
sends.
sits beautifully for him. Now on the right boot. Oh, look at that pinpoint accuracy. What was this about not kicking? As Runga turns around, and look at that for a play. Beautiful transition as Zickman ends up on the end of it. A little bit of a grab at the hamstring there. We don't want to see too much of that.
No, he certainly grabbed at his right hamstring. Not a good sign.
See how he comes in. A good finish here. That was beautiful work right from the back line. Some good work by Shepherd. Widmer. And then Adira Wikrama's kick in to Zickman was fantastic. Can he finish it off? Needs to give it a little bit of left to right. Gives it the left. Doesn't get the right until very late.
That's a beautifully judged
Beautifully weighted. I wrote it off too early, and it came through with the jet stream. And now it's party time for the Demons as they go 30 points up in front.
As Sam Zickman with that beautifully judged kick kicks goal number 4.
Watch it again. Comes in, nice measured approach. Comes off the boot, almost at right angles. And beautifully judged. Just sneaks it in.
It was
Top corner of the
never
net.
ever going to be a goal until about the last 2 metres of flight.
We're back in the centre, and the Dragons it is to get it out. But once again, the Demon defence stands tall. Thomas.
The whole Pennant Hills defence has been very, very good today.
I'd be giving Stucker some votes. I don't know if I can find 3 for him, but I'd be certainly giving him 1 or 2. He's been sensational back there. And a very good team effort done. Well, he'd be up in the votes as well.
Teddy Widmer.
Once again, just throws it long. The pack forms. Carey at the bottom. Could have been taken high. Umpire says play on. Good all. Deary Rick Rama hits the pack running. Gives it off to the other Widmer. He has a shot. He finishes. It's goal time, and it's a frenzy here for the Demons.
Whoever said Ted Widmer was an unreliable goal kicker, I don't think they knew what they were talking about. There's 2 in a row to Ted. 1 set shot, 1 on the run, beautifully judged. 2 for Ted Widmer for the afternoon.
Put that one down to a Deary Rick Rama. See the pack forms. Carey could have been taken high. Umpire says play on. Eventually just puts it out rugby style. Deary Rick Rama just picks it up beautifully, dishes off, and a great finish from Widmer.
He's recognised, Ranger, for his dishing off, as you say, and his teammates certainly appreciate it. They're always there to assist because that's the way he often disposes to running teammates.
I think it's one of the skills that can really open up a game is the old horizontal handball, as you hit the ball and then handball in full flight. And Deary Grama did it well on that occasion.
Defence holds up again by the look of it, yes.
Out there is Hay. He's beset upon. Always good to put in a good tackling effort right in front of the coach on the far side. St George, well, that's a dangerous kick. I don't know what they're trying to do there. And here come the Demons. So go back to Deary Wickrama. Gives it good run from Thomas.
Kick.
Well weighted, and Thomas's kick is good as well. To Carey, wants to move it quickly. I don't know that's his best kick either. We've seen the 2 worst kicks of the last decade from Carey. And St George on the rebound. Merson gives it to Green. Green goes to Saddington. One-hander, couldn't bring it in. There he is, that man again. Stucker. Good all. Centre half forward. Able to take the mark, Widmer. In fact, it's Jones who pulls it down for St George. A lot to salvage from the game now. 6 goals the margin. Can they get a few back, St George?
He is right. Oh, how many possessions has he had today and how many attacks has he turned back? Many, many.
Certainly a pillar of the Pennant Hills game plan, Kieran Wright.
A former Phelan medal winner and showing touches today of how he won the medal.
Here he goes again for his
40
third.
years.
Gus Widmer. Offline.
That would have brought the house down. 3 consecutive goals from Teddy Widmer, but boy, he nearly did it.
St George now once again. Merson, well, he's been a good contributor for St George this afternoon. Unable to lift his side. It's good all. Another possession for him as well. Goes for a little gallop on the left boot this time. And
well, little wonder he's rated the 2nd best footballer in the Sydney League this week. He's showed every touch of class today to justify that ranking.
Options really drying up now for St George. Kick intended for sure, but chopped off by the Demons. They're looking slick now.
Oh, beautiful
Now
handball
Thomas, right boot, centres it up, and he's thrown it onto his boot. Unfortunately, the foot was over the boundary line, and it'll come back for a throw in. 15 minutes played in this final term. The Demons stamp their authority in the final quarter.
King School are having a run in the ruck. Nick Ryan and Lloyd Shepherd, great duel between those two today.
Good attack on the football from Wright. Gives it off. Now in the arms of Shepherd. Well down the ground. Maybe he's trying to sneak forward for a goal. And trying to find a way through. They're under pressure with every possession now, the Dragons.
Nick Hay
Drives them forward. Parker snuck forward again. Oh, a little give off. Gives it to Dunn. His kick was smothered off the boot. Oh, takes a heavy knock too. He's in a bit of trouble there. Here's James Dunn. Meanwhile, Wales with the ball. Sees an option he likes. Gives it back. And the mark taken.
I think it's Matthew Thomas. Yes, it is. Don't know if Matthew's quite able to make the distance from there, but he may well be having a look for a better placed teammate.
I like your reverse psychology, Gus. Not looking for a teammate at all. Looking for the big sticks. Gives it a little bit of air. Call it a pass. And goes over the boundary line.
He's running back into form now. Matthew Thomas, our reigning best and fairest holder at Pennant Hills, had a slow start to the season after returning in about round 4 from an overseas trip.
Wales on the left boot, couldn't swing it around. Just the minor score. 12 goals, 15 I have. Now, St George, well, that's just, it was on the money, but it was a 2-on-1 contest to kick to. And now they've turned it over. They've slowed down considerably, the Dragons. Not what the coach would like to see.
They've lost all their cohesion that they had earlier in the game. That's certainly right.
Merson's kick is not a bad one. Goes up to Addison. Could be a free kick against Wright. Umpire thought about it quite for a long time. In fact, it's the umpire off the ball that eventually calls the free kick. He was definitely impeded there, Addison. Brother would be taking the ground up there at Spotless Stadium right now. Dylan Addison now playing with the Giants. Former Bulldog. And Wilson, he's troubled out of it. Edmonds dishes off. Right at the back. Zickman well up the ground as well. Nick Ryan. In fact, it's not Nick Ryan. That was Green. Another boundary throw, and we're approaching time on. 18.5 played.
Temperature's falling rapidly too, I would
Oh,
suggest.
isn't it what? The thin air that we have up here, Gus, but it's definitely dropping. The gauge read 14 at the start of the game. The feels like read 7.
Another good player today for Pennant Hills is Warringah Adiri Wikrama. As a youngster, I can recall him in his very first game.
As he was a youngster.
When he was a youngster.
I don't remember you being a youngster ever, Gus.
In fact, I can remember his performance that day being described as having covered more ground than Burke and Wills.
It's been a bit of time now they're down there at Geelong, but
Oh, look at that handball. How slick was that?
done. Drives them forward. Parker at the
Marco's
back.
there.
Just
Can't mark it.
tackle, gives it back. Looking for Wales. Just a big boot out of the back line. Ends up with Kilworth. Dishes off.
Right, gee, Sebastian Parker was looking for that goal. Not often he can kick 2, and he nearly had the chance there to get the second one.
Good all. He distributes. Now Smith with a bit of space. They've just dropped off their players. St George. This one slipped away from them. Pushing forward was Witt. His kick looking for Zickman, and he's taken the mark.
The Pennant Hills forward line finally started to function now, very late in the game, but this cohesion in the second quarter when they had the use of the wind just was not there. But it's the way the team was expected to play, and they are now showing that they can play.
Nicholas Hay with the ball. Zickman, who was just centred the ball up. Hay, the recipient. Beautiful kick. Will it hold its line? It turned right at the last minute, but it got through. And another one of the Demons.
He must have been
45 minutes. Sorry, Gus, 45 points to margin.
He must have been standing behind Sam Zickman when he had his last shot at goal, because that one had a similar trajectory.
If only I could get mine to draw like that. Fade, whatever it is. Tells you how good I'm going. As we said, the Demons 45 points ahead now. They've really driven this one home in the final term. The margin was only 9 points at three-quarter time. The Dragons goalless in this final term. In the time on. A bit of extras with the goals that have been scored. And good kick there from Jones, just set it up, and Addison on the end of it. Kick from just inside the paint. Distance will be a little bit of a test. Strikes it well, gets just over the line, measured well, and the Dragons get a late one.
That's their first score of the quarter. Long time coming. But it was a good kick from Bryce Addison.
We've said it quite a bit. There has been a wind advantage. I don't know if it's been as strong as what we've seen in this final term. It's dropped off quite a bit from the start of the game, but the Demons, well, they've really asserted their position on the ladder. They're sitting nicely in second spot behind the all-conquering Giants of Manly. Pennant Hills take on the Bulldogs next week. St George, well, they head over and take on Sydney University, who are enjoying a good back end of the season. So it's no easy sailing for either team. So Demons get this one out of the centre again. Carey runs onto it beautifully on the left boot, puts it out in front of Zickman, gets the second chance, pops it over inside. Could have been off the deck, could have just need to get a boot to it. Eventually pushed it over. Running in there, that was Stephen Ray. Needed to put it at the top corner of the back of the net. Kick out eventually lands with Andrew Sharp. Playing this one out now, round 14 as AFL Sydney getting to the business end of the season. Question being asked at the moment is who can stop the Giants from going back-to-back in 2014. Well, Pennant Hills certainly going to be one of the contenders. St George Addison been a handy contributor as well this afternoon. Demons, look at those hands from Adiri Wigrama. Gives it off to Delaquila. Now in front of Zickman. He's had plenty of opportunities in this final term. Most of them have been from that pocket, though. Have a look at that. It's Tist. He's got it through. That is a beautiful goal from Zickman. And just waiting for the all clear. Yes, it is. Fantastic goal.
You'd have to say he's been to the Ashley Mallet School of off-spin bowling for that one. It was a beautiful turn. Bit and turn.
Look at it again. Comes out. He looked like he was just going to run out of room. Sizes it up. Under pressure. Gets it to the goal square. Takes a beautiful right-hand turn. Nearly takes the head of the goal umpire off.
Well, there's bags of 5 in consecutive weeks for Sam Zickman. He seems to have really hit a purple patch in terms of goal kicking.
Back in the middle. Good all. Straight through the middle. Been absolutely fantastic distributor this afternoon. Good all. Giving it off. Now Ray wants to do the same. Turns it around. Parker. Too how much? Minor score. Just a dominant final term from the Demons. And they keep their winning ways going. Just the 2 losses in 2014. And they'll go into finals in good form. Kieran Wright tries to get around Gilbert. Gives it off to Wales, but up to the task. Oh, Wynn, he's tackled. Umpire says holding the ball. And I'll never give up. The Demons fight this one to the end.
That was a marvellous tackle there from Harry Angel. Got his arm, just made it impossible for him to dispose of it correctly.
Smith drives them long, inside 50. Oh, mark taken by Witt, but there's a free kick. And go to the Dragons. Ball comes out, finds Kilworth. He's been good in patches today, Kilworth. Pushing back, and a good mark taken from Jones. He's been one of their best. Pops it over to Gilbert. And Wilson, a very good contributor up forward. Rucks in. And once again, Goodall giving it back, unable to take the mark. Well, they're fighting for it there, and there's the siren. And a dominant display in the final term has brought this one home for Pennant Hills. Plenty of players out there on their haunches. It's been a tough day for football. The breeze has taken a lot out and made some hard running, but in the end, it was the last quarter that really drove it home for Pennant Hills. But in saying that, you've got to go back to the first term as well, where they worked hard against a very stiff breeze to maintain an evil pegging with the Dragons. So a very good effort by Pennant Hills this afternoon, and they come away with the 4 points. Final score in the end, St George 7-12-54. The Demons, well, they kicked a plethora of goals in the final term. 14-17, 101, the margin 47 points in the end. And Gus got the goal kickers there.
Yes,
for
goal
both
kickers
sides.
today for Pennant Hills. Zickman was outstanding with his 5 goals, his second consecutive bag of 5. And 2 goals apiece to Stephen Ray and Teddy Widmer. Singles to Parker, Sebastian Parker, Nick Hay, James Dunn, Tom Edmonds and Ranga Adiri Wikrama. All single goal kickers for St George. Ben Jones, Stephen Wilson, Bryce Addison, Carl Merson, Dominic Kilworth, Jason Saddington, who had a wonderful duel with Lloyd Shepherd at some stages, and Stucker mainly, and the other goal kicker, Alexander Wynn.
So we wrap up here at Olds Park. It was a gallant effort by both sides, but in the end, the Demons too strong for the St George Dragons. The margin 47 points in the end. Gus McKernan, thanks for helping us out. And we will wrap up here at Olds Park. And we'll see you again next week with AFL Sydney Live. Thanks for joining us. And we'll bring you all the action for the rest of the season, as well as the final series for 2014.
Oh.